How's it going, everybody? It's Kevin here once again, giving you another gameplay commentary. And in this video, what I want to talk about are the top 20 things Halo 6 needs to be a great game. Now, this video isn't just going to be me ranting on the top of my head for the things I personally want in Halo. This list is mainly going to consist of items that were in previous Halo games, items that were talked about in a Reddit question thread that I posted up, getting some community responses, and also just general things that I feel would also help the game rise to a whole new level that's never been to before. If you guys have your own ideas that you would like to see put into the next Halo game, please leave it in the comments section below after watching this video. I do read all the comments and try to reply to most of them as well. Now, first, I would like to mention though that this list isn't in any particular order. That's because I feel any of these items on this list would greatly improve the game in its own aspect. So without further ado, let's get right into the topic here. So let's start this list off at number 20. First thing that should be in Halo 6 is a bounty/challenge system, much like in Halo Reach. Now, 343 Industries has added a light version of daily challenges with the daily win packs you receive for Arena and Warzone, though this idea can be greatly expanded. You can see here for Halo Reach there are multiple challenges that encourage the player to play different modes in different play styles. You can see here one Spartan army kill 150 enemies in Firefight Matchmaking. Golden Tree City, find and kill the Gold Ranger class elite in a Banshee Fast and Low on Legendary. This can also be carried over to Arena and Warzone. Say, get 10 perfect medals within 24 hours, capture a flag in CTF. This would give players goals to achieve, which could pay out in in-game rewards. I remember grinding the heck out of Reach multiplayer just so I can get that heart attack armor effect. So even with matches I lost, I still felt like I was working towards something. And in Halo 5, I'm not getting that feeling at all. So this leads into the next item on the list, and it's number 19, and that is Achievable REQs. Right now, as it stands, the REQ system is completely random. Other than buying higher tier packs, there really isn't anything you can do to get the stuff you actually want in Halo 5. Things like armor pieces, weapon skins, stances, even emblems, which I'll get into later, are all tied to the REQ system. Now, I totally understand trying to find ways to bring more revenue to a game, because let's face it, video games are cheap. The paying $60+ isn't chump change, but the return on investment is huge when it comes to video games. The price point hasn't changed since the induction of the Xbox 360 and PS3. Games costing more than they ever have in the past, extra sources of income are needed to compensate for inflation and rising development costs. With many free-to-play games, you can either earn in-game credits or just spend real money to get what you want. 343 Industries should adopt this for future games with the REQ system. Give players the chance to unlock and grind for something they know will bring them satisfaction for grinding out countless hours of your game. I'm level 95 in Halo 5 right now, and I still haven't unlocked the Halo 2 battle rifle. I believe I have like 4 or 5 different stances out of like the 30 that are unlockable. If there was any way for me to grind REQ points and earn that exact weapon of a Halo 2 battle rifle, hell, I would definitely do that. Instead, I have to grind out boring bronze and silver packs to unlock items I don't care about just for it to make sense for me to open up gold packs. So 343, please put in a way we can unlock the items that we want. We touched on some customization with Achievable REQs. Now how about some actual customization? This one is a two-parter, so this is going to be 18A. And it's the return of customizable emblems, which to me should be a no-brainer. Custom emblems have been in Halo since Halo 1. Halo 2 even back in 2004 as well. Though 343 in their infinite wisdom took away that part of the game and threw it into the REQ system to pack it more full of crap, raising the artificial value of the high-end REQs. Customization is an important part of Halo for the long term. Rather than choosing an emblem they feel represents who they are and makes them stand out from the crowd, they're left with just whatever the rec system randomly handed to them. Plus, there are thousands of other people using the exact same emblem. When you deny the player opportunities to express themselves, it gives emblems zero meaning. I've been using the runes emblem since Halo 2 with black and red as my colors with the white circle in the background. That's my thing. Now, other people may use similar emblems, but it's rare to come across someone with the exact same combination as I did. So I have a certain attachment to that emblem because it's tradition for me to have that represent who I am and stand out, making a part of the game my own. Now luckily I was able to get the runes emblem in Halo 5, but it just doesn't have the same effect because someone else could do the exact same thing with the exact same colors, and the odds are very high that someone can have the exact same thing as me, and it just ruins the whole point of having an emblem. Continuing down customization, this brings us to 18B. We have to see more detailed armor customization. Much like what I touched on before about how customization helps personalize the game and make it their own experience, no part of Halo does this more apparently than armor customization. Halo 5 lets you modify the helmet and body, and that's about it. In Halo Reach, you chose the helmet, the shoulders, the arms, the boots, and the body as well. Each one of those armor pieces having their own modifications on top of that. With literally hundreds, if not thousands of different combinations, Halo Reach was able to achieve a much greater level of customization with actually fewer items. For number 17, let's talk about the cosmetic look of having a black undersuit with your Spartan. This isn't that big of a deal to me, but just a minor tweak can really make a Spartan's armor really stand out. Having a colored suit blends your armor pieces together, making it harder to visually distinguish between the different armor types. I honestly can't tell you the difference between body armor pieces because they all kind of end up looking the same more or less. Having a black undersuit would make the armor stand out and show off the hard work 343 has put into making all these different armor variations. Plus it just looks way more badass, let's be real. Leaving customization and cosmetics part of Halo, let's dive into the online matchmaking experience. Number 16 on the list here is party matching and or solo queue. 343 Industries has put hard work making a relatively competitive matchmaking experience. The ranking system works for the most part. It's not perfect, but certainly could be better, but it's what we have for right now. Though these ranks you receive for online matchmaking don't mean anything if a team themselves are imbalanced. Teamwork and communication will come out on top on the majority of time when playing online matches. So you can have teams that are the same rank, but if the other team has a party of 3 or more, there's an inherent imbalance to the match before it even begins. This creates one-sided matches that are not fun for the team of randoms and artificially raises the other team's rank. Now there are many ways to solve this matchmaking problem. One, only have parties of 3 or more match against other parties. Now this would increase matchmaking times for the parties since their pool of players to be matched with is limited, though personally I'd much rather wait a bit longer to find an evenly matched game compared to the current state of matchmaking. There's also number 2 of having just a solo queue playlist. Now this would divide up the player base by adding an additional game mode to the playlist. Halo's player base is large enough to be able to handle a game mode like this. It would also help provide truly balanced online matchmaking experience for solo players who want to rank up and enjoy team-based gameplay. Number 15 on the list, that's all I have to say is, can we please bring back map and or game mode vetoing? From my experience, there are maps that are currently favored in the rotation. For example, I rarely play Molten in matchmaking. Also, there are maps that I'd much rather not play at all. I'm looking at you, at Orion and Pegasus. Yeah, you still suck. Plus, this would be a valuable data to know what players like and don't like. Do you think Nuketown and Call of Duty would have been such a popular map in the community if there wasn't an ability to vote for it when it came up in the rotation? 343 could use this data to bring new maps to the game that are in the style of these most popular maps in Halo, providing a much more enjoyable experience for the player base. Number 14 on this list is a better lobby user interface. The pre-match UI in Halo 5 is almost pointless. The only thing you can tell is what map you're going to play and what emblems other players are using. You can hear other people talk, but there's no way to identify who is actually talking. Also, you can't tell if you're on the red or blue team until seconds away from the match beginning. This provides no time to talk out strategies or think about how you're going to approach the match. Not being able to identify who is talking has actually interfered with my gaming experience. Sometimes I'll go and solo queuing into a Slayer match, and I come across a player who wants to use his microphone and wants to party up. First I have to ask who is talking, and then get their gamer tag, then leave matchmaking, go to recent players, add them on my Fryer team, and queue up for a match again. In previous Halo games, you were able to see the player's name, who's talking, what team you'll be on, and party up in the next game with a single click of an A button. Honestly, all we need is just a matchmaking UI that mimics the previous Halos, and it will vastly improve the streamlining of the matchmaking process. While we're on the topic of UI, number 13 on this list is we should have a way for Halo 5 players to know when HCS streams and tournaments are taking place. I really like how 343 Industries and Microsoft are supporting the competitive side of Halo. Right now, it's the strongest I've seen the Halo competitive scene be since Halo 3, when the competitive Halo scene was at its peak. Though, unless you closely follow the HCS scene, it's not that easy to know when tournaments are taking place. To resolve this issue, I suggest an in-game notification when the HCS stream is taking place. There's already an app for Twitch on the Xbox One, so why not integrate that into the game, or at least link to a Twitch channel through the game. This type of integration has taken place before with in-game terminals using the Halo app, so why not with Twitch? This would be an easy way to get people into watching HCS streams. Also, open the community to potential viewers whom never been introduced to the competitive gaming, to have quick, easy access to that media. Imagine being a player who just plays Halo. They don't watch YouTube, they don't check up on Halo waypoints, they don't follow Halo on Twitter, they just play the game. So when they get a flash screen turning on the game saying that Counter Logic Gaming won HCS, the player is most likely not gonna have a clue what is going on. This simple integration would give players the opportunity to see what competitive gaming is all about, potentially reach a whole new audience with such an amazing aspect of Halo. Continuing down the UI rabbit hole, I feel like there's one thing we really need to discuss when it comes to Halo 6, and that's whether or not hitmarkers should be in the game. I made a video about this previously about how I feel that hitmarkers should be removed from Halo. The hitmarker notification has been popularized across the FPS genre now. It's a great way to inform a player that damage has been dealt. It works in games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Destiny, and many others, though hitmarkers don't have a place in Halo because Bungie implemented Shield Flare to inform a player how damage is being dealt. Adding hitmarkers is redundant information since the player already receives visual confirmation that damage has been dealt and how much more damage is needed to be given to complete a kill. Hitmarkers in Halo are being taken advantage of mainly when it comes to grenade use. Many times I find myself using grenades in the game as more of a fishing lure. I'll toss a grenade where I think a player is, and if I don't get a hit marker, then I know that there isn't anyone there. Though if I get a hit marker on a blind toss, then I'll play overly aggressive and go for the kill. Now that's not use of in-game awareness or map knowledge, that's just taking advantage of redundant UI mechanics. Hitmarkers promote more grenade spam technique that is never seen in Halo before until Halo of Duty 4. This reduces the effectiveness of stealth tactics, simplifying the gameplay, resulting in a more predictable, less dynamic style of gameplay. By removing hit markers from Halo 6, this would greatly reduce grenade spamming techniques and leave it up to the player to win battles rather than rely on UI mechanics. Number 11 is improve the rec selection UI in Warzone. The organization makes sense, but it doesn't function very well. Many times I move faster than the UI, so I have to wait for my recs to load. Though variety is great, but let's be honest, we have our handful of recs we normally like to use. We don't need to load in 15 different types of battle rifles when you only use 1 or 2. We could have a favorite or loadout option, since oftentimes you work up certain builds in Warzone so you earn the rec energy level you have the rec once you spawn. So for example, as soon as I earn rec level 3, I want a BR. Instead of having to bother with all the horrible UI of recs, and I can set my Spartan to automatically spawn in with a level 3 battle rifle, or have a UI pop up saying, hey, you're level 3, do you want to use a battle rifle you've pre-selected? Hit A, or yes, or hit B, and spawn anyways. Alright, number 10, we're halfway through. So number 10 on the list is more engaging boss battles in Warzone. Right now, almost every boss in Warzone is a total bullet sponge that has a heat-seeking weapon that's on a super powerful, slow cooldown. Bosses don't feel like they're fighting for survival or have a true sense of self-preservation. They just kind of stand out there taking bullet after bullet. You know, I could take an entire video on this topic alone, and I just might, but I'll keep it concise. Bosses need variety of attacks, defenses, and ways for you to take them out. If you just use the same tactic every time encountering a certain boss, the gameplay becomes repetitive and boring. Number 9 is a true firefight mode. I appreciate the attempt 343 did by trying their best to work in Firefight into the existing sandbox of Halo 5, though the game mode is alright, but Halo Reach Firefight is leaps and bounds better than Warzone Firefight. Also, Halo 6 Firefight needs to be playable in custom games. Standard Firefight is fun, but why not have the option to have only fuel rods or remove shields or to increase the difficulty, or only have like 10% gravity and jump around like men with like moon shoes, you know? What makes Halo so great is how modular it can be, how you can make your own experience with this game. Please, 343, bring back a full experience of Firefight and have it fully customizable in Halo 6. Jumping back to the Warzone changes, number 8 on this list is adding temporary objectives. Right now, temporary objectives are just killing the boss here. How about adding other objectives like temporary King of the Hill area, or protect this thing much like Warzone Firefight, like the Forerunner artifact, or escort the VIP from point A to B, or bring a version of Payload from Team Fortress 2 as an objective. This would bring more variety to the gameplay so every single game doesn't play out exactly the same. Number 7 on the list is cross-platform gaming. We've been seeing more Microsoft Studio games like Gears of War 4 and Forza Horizon 3 with having the ability for PC and console players to experience the same game together. You know, bringing Halo 5 Forge to the PC was a huge step towards that direction by 343, and they deserve a lot of praise since the last PC Halo game was Halo 2. Obviously, cross-platform gaming should only be allowed in cooperative and custom games. So campaign, firefight, and allow custom games. Allowing your game to be available to more people can only be a positive effect to the game and community surrounding it. So 343. Please. Number 6 is a accurate and not glitchy theater mode. For some reason, in Halo 5, the theater mode is incredibly glitchy and just does not represent the gameplay of what actually happens. There are countless amount of issues, and many others on YouTube have gone in depth on theater mode in Halo 5, so I won't go into great detail about what needs to be changed because I think we all know. I just want to say, can we please just get to where it was like in Halo 3 when it was first introduced? Number 5 on the list is
repeal and replace the disaster known as
Spartan Charge. As the ability stands now, it's very unfair to the player on the receiving end and rewards aggressive players with reckless behavior. Halo has always been about outsmarting and outplaying your opponent. Spartan Charge acts as a get-out-of-jail-free card for the player who's overly aggressive in their play style. Now, I have no issue with the knockback effect, though my main issue is how the receiving player gets knocked down to no shields, leaving them one shot. My suggestion is either keep the knockback effect but not lose shields, or just remove it completely. Number 4 is bring back previous game modes. Game modes like King of the Hill, Headhunter, Dominion, Regicide have been missing in Halo 5. King of the Hill was one of the main game modes in competitive Halo, but they've completely removed it for Strongholds, which is a way less strategic and not nearly as interesting to watch. It even took a while for Oddball to come back to Halo 5, which is a game mode that has been a long-standing fan favorite and also in competitive game modes as well. Headhunter would be a great way to bring objective mode into the free-for-all playlist. Regicide was a great protect the VIP game mode, and Dominion was a fan favorite back in Halo 4 Big Team Battle. Again, so 343, please bring back some of these great game modes in your next Halo game. Number 3 on this list I know has been confirmed by Bonnie Ross, but it just needs to be said that split screen needs to be in Halo 6. Enough said. Number 2 is bring back dual wielding. What's way better than having one badass weapon? Well, having two badass weapons, obviously. Now, this does bring up balancing issues. Let's use the SMG for example. Obviously, you want a single SMG to be a legitimate option in the Halo sandbox, but when you dual wield your SMGs, you're doubling the DPS, damage per second, of the weapon, which creates a balancing issue across, close range weapons. A typical way to balance this issue is to increase the spread of the weapon when dual wielding. So you're losing effective range, but gain short range DPS. A tweak like this could bring back one of the most badass abilities in a Halo game ever. And the grand finale, number 1 on the top 20 list for things Halo 6 needs to be great again, is more Master Chief. Master Chief is the face of Microsoft gaming, much like Mario is to Nintendo, and to not have him as a main character is just ridiculous. Halo 5 advertising has a split time campaign, much like Halo 2. Do you feel Halo 2 would have been so well received if you mainly played as the Arbiter? My guess is probably not. Locke could be the best written character ever in Halo, but nothing can outshine Master Chief. Plus, Chief's role in the game is to be what's called an audience surrogate. The role of this character is to come from the perspective of the audience, ask questions, help bridge that connection between audience and media. So 343, please, in Halo 6, can we get some more mustard, Chef? Oh my god, this video was a long one. Though there are so many things Halo 6 can improve on from Halo 5, I'm not saying Halo 5 was a bad game. It certainly wasn't. And I enjoyed my time with the game for the most part. I still stand by my claim that Halo 5 is the best multiplayer since Halo 3, and I feel I can say that with confidence. I just feel like what's missing from the game are the details that would take the next Halo game from a good game to a great game. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you taking the time to hear my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It greatly helps out the video get more recognition. I've put hours and hours into making this damn video, and it's the best thing I can do. If there's anything you feel I left out of this video, please leave it in the comment section down below. I do read all the comments and try to reply to most of them as well. And if you've liked what you've seen and want to see more content from me, you can always hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that notification button as well, so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Again, thank you so much for watching and getting this far into the video. I greatly appreciate it. You can check out the videos on the screen right now for my previous content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.